Hello YouTube family, and welcome to another episode of This and That. Yes, it is your boy Rosel, your soon to be #1 YouTube host. Last week's video where we dropped the pine trees, I mentioned to y'all that we'll be talking about lighting this week. So let's see what my warped brain came up with, what kind of lighting I decided on, and at the end of the video I'll tell y'all why I decided to have lighting out here in the first place. Y'all stay tuned. This is bound to be a good one. Alright fam, the first piece of lighting I came up with was, I think these things are about $10 at Lowe's. I've had this one for a while. So I went ahead and I plugged it over here to my little plug area, and I ran it up right here, and I got it hanging on the wall and it pointed out toward my up toward the hog pen. Now that light, I think, is kind of protected from the weather. It will get moist if it rains if I forget to bring it in, but I don't think it will harm it, so I'm going to leave that one there pretty much full time. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, I tried it out this morning. It lit the area up very, very well. All right, secondly, for my warped brain, I watched a lady on YouTube, and she likes to play around with things from the Dollar Tree. And when I saw her playing around with some of those little lights that you stick in the ground, and they're solar, I thought I can use those, possibly. If you go to Lowe's and you get the lights that sit on top of these 4x4s, those things are about, if I'm not mistaken, anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks. So I'm like, I don't want to spend that kind of money, because if you remember, this channel is about cheap. And as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I used that acronym cheap, and I told y'all I was going to periodically tell y'all what that stood for. I gave you the first letter and the second letter, H. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell y'all what the H is for. All right, now, light number 2. I walked into the Dollar Tree, and when you walk into the entrance of the Dollar Tree, they have these lights. $1. They're solar, and I'm not quite sure how they illuminate. I just put these up about 4 hours ago. I hope I wasn't supposed to pull this tag. I think I was. Boom. Pull that tag, and when it gets nightfall, I should have lights, and we'll see. We'll come back and we'll see how they illuminate. Now, the clever part of this, my lighting system. And y'all know I've told you in previous videos how smart I am. By now, y'all should be aware of how smart I am. This is a $1 chopping tool. It's made to, I guess, to chop up onions or vegetables or maybe sliced bread, whatever. It has inch increments on it from 6 inches long, and it's $1 at the Dollar Tree. I thought to myself, I just went over in the cooking utensil area. I saw that and I'm going, I think it'll work. This hole is the perfect size for this light. So I simply drilled 2 holes, a hole in this light, in this slicer, chopper. I drilled 2 holes in the top, bolted it to my fence, and there you have it. And I got 3 of those, and these are just for testing purposes. If this works, then I'm gonna do them all the way across the whole fence. That's $2 right there. The chopper and the freaking light. I bought some more lights that all $1. I just kind of stuck them in the fence to get some sun. And we're gonna see how they illuminate, if one illuminates better than the other. And I got red, white, and blue here for the 4th of July. So those will be front and center on the 4th of July. And I stuck this one in a piece of PVC pipe. And it fits pretty good, but it doesn't sink all the way down in there. So I'm thinking about getting this is a 1-inch piece of PVC. So I'm thinking about getting a bigger piece of PVC, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and see if it'll slide down in there all the way up to the top. And that might be a different technique we can use to mount those. But I really kind of like that slicer chopper thing. I mean, it's $1. It kind of sets things apart for me. It works for me. And once again, it's one of my brain children. And as I told y'all in previous videos, I think I'm a genius. So once again, one of my genius ideas. Now, next, I had to come up with a way. I also got a couple of those small solars to go there at my entryway. So if it's late at night, I can see kind of where my entryway is. It'll illuminate it. Now, I don't plan to presently put any electrical in this shed. Not for now. Maybe later on, I might run some electrical out here and put an air conditioner or whatever. So for now, when I come out here at 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, that's about what time I get up, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I have this Insta Power. I bought this from Lowe's right after the hurricanes last year. It was about $100. But I have two of these things. I have another one that's similar to it. I call them a jump starter. They start your car battery when it's dead. And I don't use this one. So it has two 110 plugs, two 12-volt plugs. I bought this thing off of Amazon. It's simply a socket. You screw a bulb in the socket, and I will put this into the comment section below. You simply screw a bulb in there, screw it in. You hit the 120 inverter on this thing, and you have lights. So that's gonna sit there. It has to be recharged once it runs low, but I think with just pushing that light, that thing's gonna last for weeks, I think. So we're gonna test it. So when I come out here in the mornings, I'll cut this thing on. If I need to grab my saw, I get my saw. Or if I need to grab a shovel or whatever, that thing's gonna be on for a maximum of maybe 2-3 minutes. I cut it off, but over the weeks, I'll let y'all know how long this thing lasts and is it worth it, or do I have to go to a plan B? So that's how I'm going to light the interior of the shed for now. Also, there's a USB plug there. I also have some USB lights that I run in my Jeep. They probably pull even less power, and I can hang those here on the rafter somehow and get overhead light. So that's an option as well. So that's how I'm going to light the interior of the shed. All right, fam. Like I told y'all, I was going to give you my idea of how I was going to light the hog pen. And here is the last piece of lighting option that I have. I ordered this from Amazon about a month ago. About a month and a half ago, the last thing I ordered from Amazon for 30 days. I promised my wife I wasn't going to order anything from Amazon for 30 days, and I did it. That was my birthday present to myself, because I was spending about $500 a month on Amazon stuff, and $300 of that was stuff that just for me. The other stuff was reoccurring stuff like, paper towel, dog food, things of that nature. But for the most part, I was dropping $300 a month on Amazon. But that's a story all in itself. I don't know how this thing works. I didn't read up on it. I just unboxed it, took it out of the box, looked it over. I didn't read any directions. Y'all know how I'm about directions. And I put this thing in the sun. So tonight, I don't see an on-off switch. Oh yeah, there it is. There's an on-off switch. So tonight, when we come back out here to see how these illuminate, how those illuminate, and we're gonna see how this works. So we're gonna see that's a string light. And I think that thing's about 20 feet long, if I remember correctly. And we're gonna see if we're gonna string this around here over the fence, or maybe we'll string it next to the house, and we'll see how it works and how long it works. So that's my lighting. Now, you ask me why do I want lighting in the hog pen? If this is going to be somewhere where I barbecue at or whatever, why would I need lighting? When I host an event, whether I'm having 4 or 5 people over, whether I'm having 10 or 15 people over, and hopefully we get back to that this year by maybe the 4th of July, I like to start my barbecue about 5 o'clock in the morning. Right now it's about 4 in the afternoon. I was out here earlier setting all this up around 12 o'clock, and I literally had to go inside and wash my face, wipe down, and cool off. I was so freaking hot, I was almost ready to pass out. So I don't like being out here at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning barbecuing. So I come out around 5 o'clock. I put my meat out the day before, let it thaw out, season it, marinate it, whatever the case may be. I get out here at 5 o'clock in the morning. I start barbecuing. By 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, I plan on being inside, having my third cup of coffee, and being done with the barbecue, and leaving that, the cooking, the sides, or whatever, to whomever else is doing that. Even if it's me, I'm going to be doing that in the air conditioning. So that's the why I saw it necessary to have lighting in the hog pen. Now, I hope this is helpful to someone else. If you have an area similar to this, or maybe you just have a privacy fence that you want to light up and do some decorating to, I personally believe that that little setup, whether you put it on the back of the fence, you could actually put those on the back of the fence, or whatever you consider the back of the fence, on the neighbor side of the fence, and not even see those, and simply drop those lights in. I think that's a good look. I like aluminum because I'm an aircraft mechanic, and I see aluminum. I've seen aluminum probably almost every day for the last 30 years, almost my whole adult life. I like aluminum. I think it's a cool look. And the top, the most important thing, it was $2 per unit. How can you beat that? Now, I forgot how much I paid for those string lights. I'll drop that in the description below, and I will put a link into those. They are from Amazon. But these, the Dollar Tree lights, if it works, fam, I think we got ourselves something. All right, I told y'all I was going to tell you what cheap, the second letter in cheap stood for. The second letter, the H, stands for helpful. The first letter was capable. The second letter is helpful. Y'all stick around. In an upcoming video, I'll give you the third. I'm going to try to remember to do this in every video and get it over with, because we got several acronyms. And I also have another acronym for this. Normally when a guy has a room in the house, he calls it his man cave. Since this is outdoors, the hog pen, any area that is an outdoor area that's dedicated just to the him of the house, we're going to call it our land cave. Ah, you like that, don't you? I'm a freaking genius. All right, fam, I've carried on long enough. If y'all enjoyed this video, y'all give her a thumbs up. If not, give her a thumbs down and a brief reason why in the comment section. And if you love what we're doing here, this and that, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we drop one of these awesome videos. All right, fam, there you have it. Those two lights by the door, doing fairly well for $1. These aren't lighting up the night skies, but not bad. I really like my idea. I like the little plate, the little cutter chopper holder. But of course, I like all my ideas. And the string lights, they actually work. They don't light up the night skies, but I think they're going to be fun at Christmas because they have several different modes. You can make them flash, dance. I'm going to like that. All right, fam, there you have it. The hog pen, all lit up, no place to go. Peace.